For the second invited talk on design thinking by Sri Ajesh Viswambharan, Director of Quality Engineering, Unifor. Sri Ajesh Viswambharan is an electrical and electronic engineer and has undergone PGP in artificial intelligence and machine learning. With over 20 years of experience with the software industry, he has worked closely with the strategy and business development teams in helping them with the sales and marketing processes. He is certified in software quality assurance and is a certified cloud practitioner of Amazon Web Services. He is also certified on emerging cloud topics such as Docker and Kubernetes. He is known for working with product design development teams to deliver high quality products with a sense of design thinking. We invite you, sir, for the session.
So good afternoon, everyone. So how is the Josh today now? I could see we've been stressed a little bit. Let's do a little bit warm up. Can you stretch yourself? Let's make the energy a little more, let's the room be more energetic. Because we have seen in this early sessions, people have been talking about quality. And what I'm going to do is, I'm slightly going to do an off-topic discussion. And in that, I would like to, before I start with design thinking, I wanted to set a context. Let's look at bug to solution. What is a bug? So I'm sure most of you are aware. You would have used a USB drive. So in a one shot, will you be able to insert a USB drive easily into a USB port? You would have seen, you'll have to look around, and that's the way you'll be able to insert. So you have seen that there is a problem there. So what is that? It is a problem in design. Similarly, we have so many solutions like that. So before I go to design thinking topic, let me just take you through a detailed understanding about what is current. Yes, we are digitally changing a lot. And now, let me get to the topic now. So before that, how many of you think you are creative? I'm sure during your early days, you would have made you to draw something. And during that point of time, your friend or someone would have told you don't draw well. That is what you make you think you being a creative or not. Similar to it, but wherein come to design, it is not that. We will see more about design thinking in detail. So in this, maybe another 15 to 20 minutes, what we'll do is, we'll be able to understand what is design thinking. And in earlier sessions, I had seen people talking about quality. And where is that design thinking process need to happen, by which we'll be able to attain a lot of zero defects or left shift in the testing process, all those things can be achieved. So that is what we're going to see now. So what is design? Is design in a product? Is design an event? Is design aesthetic? Is design an experience? Design is not just what it looks like, and it feels like design is how it works. So I'm sure this particular thing, our director, Dr. V. Narayan, was discussing about in his earlier talk earlier. So cost of quality, when I had seen in earlier talk as well, the cost of quality was discussed. So what does this cost of quality? If you're able to identify an issue at the earliest, so being left shift into the process, you will be able to reduce the cost of quality. And earlier speakers said about other parameters of it, so I'm not going to touch about all those things. And very important thing about design thinking process is, we should be able to fail early and test often. This is one of the important things in every industry we need to practice. So how we are going to achieve that is what is my topic of discussion. So in design thinking process, you will see basically 5 main elements. One is empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. So wherein I had seen in most of the earlier speakers talking about define, develop, all those things, but I never seen a discussion on empathize. So what is that empathize? So let us do a deep dive and understand what has happened in empathize. So you would have seen, this is an ad by British Airways, wherein they orchestrated the moment of flight, British Airways flight comes, they stopped this particular billboard ad by using a technology and they interrupt. So how did they achieve this? They inserted an antenna in a nearby building which identifies, and you know the fact, aeroplanes send radio signals to which where you will be able to understand the speed, which location, and call sign about the particular aeroplane. So and that has been connected to a custom-made applications where that connects to cloud and get the data, and which has been connected to the billboard. So that is a way this particular decision was made, and why that was been made. Indeed, and with this approach, they were able to, indeed, British Airways was able to get more sales due to this particular thing, because people started posting this particular thing in the public social medias, and due to which there was a lot of hype they were able to build, and people started utilizing British Airways. That is one thing. Now let us look at another story about Empathize. So let me just bring you to another example.
As I watch my child sleep, I feel a sense of inner peace. I will do everything to protect him, and I want to always be there to give him unconditional love.
Every day, he teaches me something new, and together, we share many special moments.
But the day my child was born,
The only thing I wanted was to help her live.
One of the biggest problems these babies face is staying warm. This is the primary function of an incubator, but traditional incubators cost thousands of dollars and require electricity. Parents in rural areas resort to desperate measures to care for their babies, including tying hot water bottles around the babies, placing them under light bulbs, or holding them over hot coals. The Embrace Infant Warmer is a simple solution to this problem. Embrace consists of 3 parts: a sleeping bag, a heater, and a pouch of phase change material. Once heated, the phase change material is placed into a compartment in the sleeping bag and can maintain a constant temperature of 37 degrees Celsius or 98 degrees Fahrenheit over the next 4 to 6 hours. The product stays warm without electricity. It is safe and intuitive to use, easy to clean, portable, and allows close mother-to-child interaction. Embrace's mission is to give every infant a chance for a healthy life. Every child deserves the opportunity to live, to grow, to dream.
Here you would have observed this was possible only by means of interacting or going deeper into the public and understanding their problems. So you would observe in this, and this happens. So you know the fact, child mortality was one of the bigger problems which Embrace was able to solve it. And you would observe that, and the main thing about incubators, it requires constant supply of electricity, wherein you know the fact, on rural areas, this is a bigger challenge, when there could be another situations. So what was that been done? They used to use a older method by heating using other, there would be multiple options being used, but it was not all working. So this solution actually was an innovative solution, and which was only possible because they were able to empathize and understand what is that, the problem we wanted to solve. So Empathize plays a pivot role in design thinking. So now what is Empathize actually means? It is that we need to be in the customer's shoes and understand what they need it, rather than we don't speak about ourselves. So if I ask you to design a wallet for your spouse, so what it would be that you're doing it? So you might ask to your spouse and understand what all she wanted to carry. So probably you can try this experiment when you are at home. So you'll be able to understand how do the Empathize activity really works in.
The second stage in a typical design thinking process is called define phase. It involves collating data from observation stage. First stage called empathize to define the design problems and its challenges.
Now, I wanted to spend some time more to give you an understanding about this. Now, what is this particular image showing you? So probably this girl is trying to, or what is she trying to do? What does she need? So maybe she need information, or she need support from adult supervision, or she might need a lower shelf by which she will be able to pick up books, or else it could be many things. So how would you able to understand this particular thing? So if you are able to use the need, so what is that need? Normally we use need as noun. Instead of that, if you are able to use need as a word, then probably we will be able to find out more information about what is that exact thing it is required, due to which we will be able to understand. So need will provide you solution. So if you are able to use need as a word, probably it will give you more information. So instead of asking what she needs, so then probably that she need a ladder, or else she need another bionic arm by which she will be able to take the book, or pogo stick. So could be multiple options. So it is very important for you to place or ask multiple questions by which you gather more information. Now, there is another important aspect which you should look at. Even this also could, if you interact more with the customer, even you could also understand about the insight by which she is trying to do. It could be that their parents are busy in a party and she is completely bored and she needs the attention from parents. So it could be that. So this particular thing you will be able to understand only if we interact more and go closer with her. So we will be able to understand the insight about what she needs. So now the next is another interesting area where it ideate. So empathize is a stepping stone by which we will be able to move into the next area. So we talked about using a need. So using a need, we were able to understand that she need a ladder or pogo stick. Multiple options were come. So using a need as a verb, we were able to generate or create a generic statement by which what solution you can provide. So that is one important thing we need to do it in ideate phase, wherein, so I think one more example which I must add on here would be, in normally any deal school, if you approach, for example, if you wanted to design for a shoes, so that we don't always look at a place wherein we go for the median place where the more majority of the population is there. We don't do that. Instead, sometimes we might also need to look at extreme cases, so by which we will be able to bring a generative information by which we might be able to bring a better solutions. So that is another important, we will have to do it in ideate phase.
In 1968, a 3M scientist developed a reusable adhesive that didn't really stick. The glue he created could hold paper together, but wasn't strong enough to maintain the bond when pulled on. Unfortunately, the scientist was trying to make a super glue. It would take 12 years and a flash of eureka to turn the glue that wouldn't stick into the Post-it note. Spencer Silver had a PhD in organic chemistry when he came to 3M to work as a senior chemist in their central research lab. While trying to improve the adhesive that 3M used for tape, Silver discovered a less sticky glue. Ordinary adhesives are flat, with a solid contact area for adhesion. It is this unbroken contact that makes glue so sticky. What Silver found was a glue that, while quite sticky, could only be formed into individual spheres the thickness of a piece of paper. The spheres would only adhere to things tangentially, thus the adhesive's total contact area was very small. The result was a tacky, reusable glue that held paper together well. Silver knew he was onto something but wasn't sure how to market it. Early ideas included a sticky bulletin board for temporary messages or as a low-powered spray adhesive.
It's purely an accident. The guy was looking for something that a stronger adhesive and came up with an extremely weak adhesive, and he didn't know what to do with it until eventually they started making these bulletin boards and so on.
Silver kept plugging away at the possibilities of this new glue, presenting it individually and during seminars. In attendance at one of these seminars was a 3M scientist named Arthur Fry. Fry sang in his church choir, and to keep track of the hymns, he tore scraps of paper into strips to make bookmarks. Every Sunday, a few would fall out of the hymnal, frustrating Fry. In a moment of divine inspiration, Fry realized that Silver's glue might make the perfect temporary adhesive to hold bookmarks. At work, Fry gathered scraps of paper and Silver's glue and combined them to make sticky but removable bookmarks. The bookmarks were popular and handy, but people did need more than a few of them. Shortly thereafter, Fry sent a file to a colleague using one of these bookmarks with an arrow on it to indicate a point of interest. The report came back with the bookmark still attached, and the colleague had used the bookmark as a note. Fry quickly realized that his bookmark had applications as an adhesive note. Fry believed so strongly in his invention that when engineers told him that a machine didn't exist to manufacture the notes, he went home and built just such a machine in his basement. When he couldn't fit it through his basement door, he knocked the wall down. Now he had his manufacturing equipment and a great product. The only thing he didn't have was the support of senior management at 3M. To overcome this, Fry sent samples to all the company's executives, who quickly ordered more samples. Management was quickly hooked, and their demands soon outstripped development's production capacity. When it became clear that Post-it notes were viable in a commercial atmosphere, 3M's marketing went to work. In 1978, a team of 3M marketers flooded Boise, Idaho, showing everyone they could find the wondrous new notes.
Many times in your mailbox you'll get a little sample of shampoo or deodorant or something, and all that it is an example of the Boise Blitz, except applied to something much simpler.
Post-it notes were officially released to the public in 1980, and in 1981 they were named 3M's outstanding new product.
Well, I think the most important idea here is that if you have clever people and you let them do what they're good at, something good is likely to happen.
Today, there are over 600 products based on the Post-it concept. Arthur Fry is semi-retired from 3M, maintaining a part-time presence as a mentor. Spencer Silva retired in 1996.
Let's look at another example.
'Twas a night before Christmas, and all across the land, the good folks of WestJet had a miracle planned. On the eve before flying, the guests were in their beds. Visions of traveling danced in their heads. While out on the runway, something secret had arrived. It was left in the lounge. 'Twas a Christmas surprise.
Is that Cohen? What are you looking for Christmas this year, Cohen? A choo-choo train? Ho, ho, ho! A classic! Do you like Thomas?
Yeah,
What would Mommy and Daddy like for Christmas?
Big TV.
Yeah, big TV.
Ho, ho, ho! A big TV! You're looking fabulous!
Oh, I need to.
It's okay if you just want to stare at me as well. Ho, ho, ho!
What I need is new socks and underwear.
An Android tablet.
Is that William beside you? And Cameron?
Some Santa boots.
Stocking stuffing store.
While the guests told their Christmas wishes to good old St. Nick, WestJetters took notes and got ready to shop quick. It was a great rush with the 2 flights in the air to get all the Was everything ready? We all had to wait for the moment of truth at Carousel 8. is more than mere fun. Miracles do happen when we all work as one. We'll give Santa the last word on this most special night.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good flight. Ho, ho, ho.
So with that example, I wanted to take you to this slide. So was that all feasible, desirable, viable for Jet Airways or WestJet to do that? It is not. So normally when you do a design thinking, we have to keep these particular parameters always in: desirability, viability, feasibility. So desirability and viability put together, and all the combinations of what we should provide experience of innovation. So that is what the main thing which we all look forward. So I think even XUV70, even they were also telling about they were able to bring wow moment to the customers. That is only because they were able to look into all the particular thing and they were able to bring that. So in desirability and viability put together, you might be able to bring out emotional innovations, wherein desirability and feasibility, if you look at, you might bring out technology innovations. Viability and feasibility, you will be able to bring out process innovation. So I think in earlier discussions, some of these topics were covered. So in design thinking too, we will bring out all these processes in which we will be able to bring out a better solutions. So I think we discussed about the main three things, and prototyping, testing. I know the fact which is not new to you, and before any particular product start developing to the next level, it is very important for all of us to do a prototyping and get the feedback. Go to the customer, do the left shift, and are we doing right? Get the feedback and ask. So with that, even we will be able to reduce the number of, or else the amount of expense we spent before we making the bigger products. So this prototyping is very important. So I'm sure I don't have to explain too much about it because this is what happens here. And similarly test. So this is another important area where we have to spend a lot of time, and testing has to be a repetitive process in every phases. So it is not on, testing should not be the last phase. In every phase when you have the clarity, so testing has to be done. So testing should be often. So as I said earlier, you need to have fail early and test often. So this is an approach we all should take it, by which we'll be able to bring a better quality product. We cannot solve a problem with the same thinking we used when we created them. So this is a very important thing which you all know. So we need to look at from a different perspective and try to identify better solutions. So we believe in an era of experience. We have come to and have a high expectation for those experiences. I think this is what everybody, we would like to have better experience in everything. And design thinking makes this achievable, while design thinking is simply an approach to problem solving. It increases the probability of success and breakthrough innovations. So with this, I would like to conclude. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.